Shalom, y'all. This is Victorious, aka Vincent, and I'm here with a word from the Lord in Matthew chapter 10. I'm going to waste no time and get right into it. In Matthew chapter 10, Jesus is commissioning his 12 original disciples. He's sending them out and he's giving them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal every disease and every affliction. It's amazing. Don't you wish some of these apostles were here right now? They could heal this coronavirus. That would be amazing, right? Well, God moves in different ways, and God's Spirit is here right now. And this coronavirus, and I'll tell you, every other disease and affliction, including death itself, is nothing compared to the power and majesty of our Creator God, Yahweh. His real name's Yahweh. Did you know that? And Yeshua is his son who came from heaven down to earth to die on a cross for us. And here Jesus is walking in the flesh. Emmanuel, God is with us. This happened over 2,000 years ago. And this is one of the Gospels. Matthew was an eyewitness to Jesus' life, death, burial, and resurrection. And here he recorded Jesus talking to his apostles. And here he says, Jesus says, starting in verse 16, Matthew 10:16, he says to them, and I believe God is speaking to you today, and I pray you'll let him speak to you, that you'll hear the voice of God and obey. Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves, so be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues, and you will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. Bear witness means to give testimony of who God is, who the triune God, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit is. That's the purpose here. When they deliver you over, do not be anxious. Don't be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say. For what you are to say will be given to you in that hour. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. I'm going to stop right there. Have you ever had to speak in front of a large crowd? How does that make you feel? For some of the first times, maybe. Anxious, right? You get all choked up and it's kind of grievous, right? Well, I'm here to tell you, there's a reason why that happens. And it's called fear. We fear men. We fear what others think of us. But we don't really fear God. We worship the creation. This is called idolatry. It's vertical adultery against a holy and pure God that loves you and me so much, greater than anyone ever will or could. He loves you and me so much that he came out of heaven down to earth to live a sinless, pure life. 33 years. And he started his ministry preaching the good news. And he sends these people here, the 12 apostles, out when he was around 30. And he commissions them to go into all the world. And he's coming back. After Jesus was crucified on the cross, he was risen from the grave. He's no longer there. See this cross? Jesus is not on there. I wear this to remind myself that Jesus rose. He rose and he's seated at the right hand of the Father on high. And he's praying for you and me. He's interceding right now that you and me would worship God. That we would not be anxious and fearful, and let the cares of this temporary world choke the eternal destiny that God has for you and me. This life is like this. It's so tiny compared to all eternity, man. Eternity is, he's got something beautiful in eternity, and I hope you'll focus on him today and not on the coronavirus, not on the things of this world, not on the evil, but on God who is holy and pure, and he loves you so much. That's the word for today. Don't be anxious, but trust God. If you got to speak in front of others, focus on breathing. Take deep breaths and focus on Jesus while you're breathing, and let his Spirit speak through you. It always helps to take some notes, to kind of have bullet points of what you want to speak on, and so you can glance there, but always trust God even in that too, is what I got to say. And that's all for today. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Check out the website victormusic31.org for other resources, and stay tuned to this 181-day devotional. Peace.